Hello, Plasticity 2024.2 is here, and what a release we have on our hands this time. This is the second release of 2024, and there are some extremely powerful new features that can change the way you will model in Plasticity. There's heaps of new stuff for artists, product designers, and hobbyists alike. Now, in this video, I want to talk about and demonstrate some of those new game-changing features that artists and designers can use to make new and cool shapes and explore possibilities that were not possible before. I have to give kudos to the dev team, and especially Nick, because they keep adding features every update that give us the ability to create new and interesting shapes, and every major feature has art hard-coded into its core, and every minor feature gives us usability and quality of life. He's taken the concept of giving our artists' minds access to the power of CAD, and he's tenaciously stuck to that mantra to the point where we have thousands of users making beautiful things every day with this software. He has taken it from this.
Okay, this is very rough, but I'm making a video of this just for perpetuity. I think it might be interesting.
And this.
I'm not sure the world needs another NURBS modeling app, but I do have eventually, I think, some ideas in mind once I have all the basic functionality working that I think will be innovative and really well suited for people who are doing like hard surface sci-fi design.
To this. So if you've been sitting on the fence about Plasticity or curious but haven't tried it out yet, download the 30 days free trial, and if at the end of that you want to keep using it, you can use my coupon code on screen now to get a 10% discount off the price of Plasticity when it's time to buy it. Now let's get into it. There are so many new features this time around, and I can't cover them all in this video, but I'll put them on screen now. In this video, I really want to show you those features I feel will change how you can use Plasticity. Okay, so let's get into it. There's some really cool stuff. This is just a little doodle on screen. So the first one, we're just going to drag an OBJ into Plasticity. So this is a polygon mesh, and I want to show you the new mesh snapping feature. So if we grab a curve, we can start to snap to vertexes and faces. And this is actually a really handy feature. So let's say we grab this guy here, and we can just pull him across, and we can keep grabbing a new spline curve. Right, pulling him across. I'm not going to do every single face. I just want to show you how we use this. Okay, so we're getting a really rough idea. Down to here. And as you can see, this is just really cool. Like, if you are more comfortable with polygon software and you don't think in curves, which probably describes me quite well, this is just a really handy. And then we can just select all of these in sync, okay, in order, and we can hit L to loft. All right, we'll hide our OBJ, and well, what have we got there? That is a really nice surface. So you did surfacing really easily without even surfacing. But let's just bring our object back and just delete our surface. Okay, now if we use a constrained surface, click, 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 and we can just do this, and we can pull it all the way up. Now, problem with constrained surfaces is they will start to sort of form their own shape. So I feel like this is better for kind of straight objects. So if I start to, I've got it set to Alt-Shift-J, by the way. And that is actually quite nice. So it's not going to conform exactly to your shape, but if we hide our OBJ, you might not be able to see it here. Maybe let's just turn on a different matte cap. But there's some nuance to that if you can look at those reflections, right? So that's a really cool way to build up quite complex surfaces quite quickly. Okay, so let's get rid of everything in our scene and all of the hidden curves as well, and let's look at something else that's really cool. So this one, I saw Nick put it in the Discord the other day. So we've always had draft face. I don't know if we've always had it, but it's been there for a while. So if we go FDRA draft face, and then you can sort of rotate this guy, and you just click a face and you can rotate that. And if you control click another face, it kind of, but it doesn't work for all of the faces. So draft face, click a face, rotate this guy, hold that. Now when I was working with beta, you can pull this up and down like that, right? So you can see that you can build quite complex shapes, but that was always there. So let's just say we build a CV, okay, and it now draft face command works with curved surfaces. So another really cool way, look, we got the front of a train right there, right? We got the front of a spaceship right there. But what I notice is with some of these curved surfaces, this offset doesn't work anymore. So, or what else could we do with this? This could be like a really cool way to build up like nice sci-fi kind of stamps. So let's just, and then we've just got rid of those, and so now we've got this really cool. So I don't know, that's just something that's cool that you can do with that, and you can probably just, you know, start to build it up, like build something really cool. Well, the other thing that you can do with it is not just you know, CVs or whatever. Crazy shapes. So you can build up like really cool, I don't know, like that could be like the, I don't know, the tail of a spaceship or a submarine or something. So you could, I feel like this, Nick said in his video he doesn't really think it's like an artist tool, it's more of a professional tool. I don't really know what it's meant to be used for in the first place, but I feel like that as artists we can make really cool shapes with that really quickly, right? So look what we got there. I don't know even what that is, but it is something that I made really quickly using this draft face command. So that's a really cool improvement. Okay, so the next improvement is let's see if there's anything on here that would work. Maybe here. It kind of works. And so this is the square command that works on square surfaces. So it's a studio only feature. Okay, so let's just find a better object. Let's delete that. Let's take a cube, press C to make it center, pull it up. Let's give it some nice little bevels. And so we've got these sides here. If we turn our edges off, you should be able to see with certain matte caps that this is quite a jagged edge. You can see that there. You can see that if we look at it from above with this guy. Oh, actually you can see it better there. Okay, you can see that this flow has kind of got a stop to the flow, and it kind of is, if you zoom right in, it's almost offset a little bit. Okay, so let's go back into our other matte cap. Okay, and turn our edges back on. So what, with X nerves, you can patch this, right? G0, get to G2, got nothing. With Xnrbs, you can get to G2. You can hit quad-sided even, and that helps to get a quad-sided, but the square command is like an expansion of that quad-sided, right? So with square command, which you can search for, by the way, it's there. So you can choose how many spans and degrees you want. So if we can go right down to G0 like that by having 1 1 1 1, and then we can pull this up to, let's say, 5 across, and then with the spans we can do that. We can pull it up to G2. Okay, so you're getting a lot of control over this. Saying it doesn't like G2 right now, and you can play around with it. So it's saying there is a problem satisfying a G2 constraint, probably the input. Yep. So this might not be the best example of it. It's more for sort of like you know, complicated areas where you don't get a good result using some of the other things. But as you can see here, let's increase our spans. Alright, I'm just going to join that in, and what we should find, now that we've done all this, and I haven't really been really consistent with it, so I'm just going to try and... Oh. We'll do one more here. It doesn't like that there. Let's give it more. See if it joins anyway. What we should find is that one was really shady because I was playing around and I was going quickly, so you can see there that you can see that join really strongly there. I think that's not even joined together at all. As soon as we go G1, it doesn't like it. So this might be not the best example. I did show it in another video with a different example on when I was in beta. But you can see that in some cases, like where you've got like a really like quirky edge or something like that, that this might be something that would be useful to help you get the shape that you need to make. So let's just join that together, and this is kind of completely played up, so we'll just Xnrbs that all together and call that a solid. Alrighty, so let's move on. This is where we're going to start getting a little bit exciting and a little bit crazy. So this new command is the Deform command, and if you remember last time we got the ability to sort of offset face. So you know, we got this ability to make a new shape by deforming other shapes to the... So this was one of the things that was introduced last time that was really cool. So what we were able to do then is drag this and hit that, and then we can get a shape like, and then we could have deleted this. I need to confirm it first, and then we could get like these cool little shapes like this, right? These little cool bulgy shapes. So this time around there's a new thing that's similar, and it's called Deform, and it's actually replacing the, I believe, the wrap command. We've still got unwrap, as you'll see in a moment, but nice big cylinder. Okay, and then we bring a, and I want to show you this first because it'll help explain how this works. Like, hopefully I can explain how this works. So what you need to use deform, so you want to deform this object to that object, okay, and you can offset it and all sorts, but we'll work very simple for now. So what I want to do is I want to, okay, so if I duplicate this face here and bring this back here and scale it by 2, and then what we want to do is you want to go F and type in deform. You could probably set up a shortcut, and this has disappeared. Okay, so where is it? It's inside and it's completely wackaroo. Okay, so that's wackaroo, right? So that's wackaroo. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to use this as a reference. So this is the reference face, and then this face is a representation of this face. So remember that we duplicated this face from here. So now this is offset from this face, but this was originally the inside face, right? So now what happens if we rotate this by 180, right? This is now the outside face. So if we try to deform it now and hit that, it's still wackaroo, but it's now on the outside, because this square here is meant to represent all of the space that this face is. So how do we make this square be the same context to what it is here, but just deformed? So what we can then do is we'll get rid of this one. We go here, F, U, N, W, unwrap face, and now we have the full representation. We have this face fully unwrapped. Okay, now you might need to do a little bit of guesswork because it does not tell you the normals. Hey Nick and team, if you could include a feature that we can see the normal direction, this tool would become way easier to use. I still think it's amazing though. So we rotate X 90. So yeah, if we could know the normal direction from the get-go, that would make things a lot easier. But it's a little bit of trial and error, and there are some tools to help you get around that. So now if we go F deform, select that, it's on the inside now. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to rotate this Z180, F deform, okay, and now it's on the outside, and you can offset it in different directions. So we can get it right up against the edge, and then we can rotate it around. Okay, and that's really cool. So as you can see, this would be really useful. So let's try something else. Okay, we'll stick with the cylinder. We'll rotate it X90. Okay, and let's just play around with the cylinder for a second. Let's do an offset here. Now this is an example that Nick did on his on the intro, so we'll show how you can do this. So what we want to do here is we want to unwrap this face. Okay, and we'll just drag it across. We actually don't know what normal it's on right now. Now we can add some text. Tell you what, when you're trying to play with text, do not use the interfont to start with. We'll go refuge 10, which is the discount code you can use to get Plasticity at 10% off. Let's use Roboto because I find it to be a little bit more easy to work with. I'm just going to GG, hold down Control and put it onto here. So let's rotate this X90 and let's just bring it up here. So this whole plane here should be a representation of this whole thing here. So if we do this text small, it's just going to go around a little bit, and if we make it hit the whole thing, it's going to go all the way around almost. So it will get pretty warped in the process. What we'll do, we'll just try and pull these out if we can. Alright, you just do the text straight, but just for this purpose we'll just try and make it straight off. Now this might go back to front or side to side, and if it does I'll show you how to fix that, and if it doesn't I'll show you how to do it anyway. So we can now hit this face. Okay, yeah, and it's gone back to front, side to side. So you can hit mirror and it'll bring it round, and obviously it's got warped and deformed. But now what we can do is we can grab these objects, we can pull them in here, right, and you can select the main object, Q, blender, Q, select the main object, Q. It's very late at night, I'm tired. I did a full day of work before making this tutorial, so I am actually really tired, but I wanted to get this one out. Alright. And then you can just work with these, and you can, you know, obviously you should probably set up your text to work a bit better to begin with, but there you go. You can get a really nice effect on there. Actually the E might be quite easy. Let's see if we can get the E all the way around. And we can match that. Putting this in a little bit. Give it a nice fillet. And it is a bullet with my name on it. Okay, so now that is all fine and dandy. That's all great. That's a really useful tool, and I hope I explained that in a nice way that you can understand how the Deform tool works and how it's based on, because if this is really crazy and then we try to, I don't know, deform that, like I really just hope that you grasp the, see what happens there? This is very, very skinny now. So you could actually work with these scalings of things, and you could warp the scaling of the reference object to get really, really cool effects. So that's not all. Okay, so this is where it gets even more interesting. So now we have the ability to bring SVGs into Plasticity, right? And SVGs, I'll open Inkscape so you can see what SVGs are. So we'll start a new document. SVGs are just basically like curves, like plasticity, like how plasticity is NURBS, like SVGs are like the 2D version of curves. So you can grab like a curve tool, and you can make shapes, and I would be able to export that shape as a curve, right? And then I would be able to bring it into Plasticity as a curve. But I don't want to show you that. What I want to show you is that we can actually go into, I'm just going to drag and drop a PNG or a JPEG or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, it's a JPEG bitmap image import. Okay, and I've got Homer Simpson here. So let's just go back to our selection tool. I'm just going to make him fit inside the, hopefully I can make him fit inside this, but we've got Homer Simpson there. He's in there. And what I've got open here is the, where is it? Trace bitmap. Okay, so what we can do is we can play with these settings. I don't exactly know how they all work, but if you bring this up it goes black, if you bring that down it goes white. But what you really want to do is just get like the lines, see down here, you want to get the lines to be reasonably, so you kind of want to get this quite low, to be honest. And then I don't know if this add speckles or remove speckles, so ignore more spots. So I guess the more we do that, the more it's going to ignore small spots. Smooth corners, I want to do that because it is going to smooth out sharp corners of the trace. So that just means we get less hard edges. And optimize, I don't know how optimized can we get it. I don't even know what that means. So optimize paths by joining adjacent Bezier curve segments. Okay, so we apply, okay, and we can drag that across. Right, this hasn't come out exactly like that looks, but we can now click on this guy, make sure he's selected, and file, export, SVG, etc, etc. So now we've got our SVG, we can drag it into Plasticity, right? So we got a JPEG off the internet. We spent 2 seconds in another software, which is Inkscape, which by the way is a free software. You don't have to pay. It's open source. It's like Blender. If Blender is Maya open source, then this is Adobe Illustrator open source. So it's a vector drawing program. So now what we can do, we've got this in, we can now just like extrude Homer Simpson out, which is really cool, right? And that's, I'm not going to bother with all these bits in the donuts and his eyes and his hair right now because it's just for a tutorial. Obviously you might want to spend a bit of time on cleaning that stuff up. But then if we bring a cylinder out, right, grab Homer Simpson, GG, just put him over here for a second, just delete our curves, we don't even need those anymore, and just for the sake of this we'll just make it like that. Okay, let's grab Homer Simpson. So if you're like, remember we unwrap this, and this is where we're using 2 of the new things. Now, I never know how it unwraps, so I'll probably get the hang of it eventually and sort of get a sixth sense for it, but once again, I would love to, I don't even know if Plasticity has a concept of a normal direction. I don't know if it does. So let's take Homer Simpson from here, F Deform, see where he goes. He might not go anywhere. He's clearly on the inside. So we could even just offset him now. And he's starting to poke his nose out the side. Oh, he's come a little bit too far. So it is quite slow. Even I've got a reasonably fast CPU. We'll rotate this Z180, so that should help us out. Select Homer. Let's just make Homer a little bit more extruded. Right, this is just all troubleshooting. There we go. And he's kind of on the outside there. We can offset him minus Z. So he's touching the cup. Yeah, he's kind of touching in there. And then we've got it. We can join him onto the cup. And I don't know, you can 3D print a Homer Simpson cup. Obviously, you'd probably want to do the opposite of what I did there and extrude the actual sort of, not the outline, but maybe you wanted to do this and have like a little etching. So look, I'll leave it at that because we've been talking for quite a while now, but I just wanted to show you a few of those cool new features, and I would love to know what you guys think of that and how you can support me is by liking, subscribing and hitting the bell notification, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Tschüss!